Welcome back, dear viewers, to Olive Whispercast, a game. Welcome back, everybody. This time it is TotesOlive versus Blackjack. TotesOlive looks at her initial hand and goes for the redraw. Sees this one, decides to keep. Olive opens with a Shadow Sigil, passes the turn to Blackjack. Blackjack draws a card, plays a Crest of Cunning, scouts to the bottom, passes the turn back. Olive plays out a Sigil, plays out a Ponysnatcher, passes the turn back. Blackjack draws a card, plays a Shadow Sigil, plays a Strategize, pitches one to the bottom, passes turn back. Olive with the Pilfer. Pilfer's a very timely Vara's favor, swings in with the Ponysnatcher, and we see that Blackjack does not have a market. Olive goes ahead and plays a Secret Passage and passes turn back. Blackjack draws a card. Blackjack plays another Crest of Cunning and scouts to the top. They like this card. Plays a Strategize, draws the card they just scouted and an additional one, and then pitches one to the bottom. Passes turn back. Olive with another Pilfer. Vara's favors to get another Shadow Sigil. Plays the Shadow Sigil, and then Pilfer's Blackjack, getting a last chance. Swings in with the bat again for gaining 2 more life. Passes turn back. Blackjack draws a card. Olive checks her market. Blackjack, Vara's favors back to TotesOlive, draws a Sigil, plays the Sigil, and goes into the tank, passes turn back. Olive draws a Street Urchin. We're probably going to see this hit the board after the swing from the bat. Olive gains 2 more life off of her bat swing. And the Street Urchin does in fact hit the board, ladies and gentlemen. Olive passes the turn to Blackjack. Blackjack annihilates, surprisingly, the Urchin. They must be afraid of that one. And draws a card. Plays a reread to get back the Strategize. They are digging for something, ladies and gentlemen. Blackjack goes for the Strategize. Draws 2. Pitches one to the bottom. Plays a Felon Insignia and passes back. Olive draws a Shadow Sigil. Has a Betray the Cause on top. Uses a Subvert and steals a Desecrate. That is a good steal, ladies and gentlemen. Swings with the bat to gain 2. And decides to pass the turn back. Blackjack draws. Goes into the tank. And plays out a Render of the Duskblade. This will allow Olive to draw 2. She draws the Betray the Cause and a timely Shadow Sigil. Unfortunately, she does not have enough to Betray the Cause and Secret Passage, so she will go for the Shadow Sigil. Check the market one more time. She does have 2 merchants in hand, so these might look like tasty cards to grab. Goes back to the market one more time. And deep in the tank, Olive looks over the board, goes for the Desecrate on the Rendra, loses 3 life to the Desecrate, swings with her bat, gaining 2 of that back for a net loss of only 1, goes back and grabs the Street Urchin one more time. We'll probably see it hit the board this turn. We do. It passes turn back to Blackjack, who takes one and draws an additional card off of the Nightfall. Blackjack in the tank, plays the Haunting Scream, gets back the Rendra and takes one from the Urchin. Then goes for the Desecrate on the Urchin again, taking an additional 1. They've taken 5 this turn. Rendra swings in and gives them back the 5 they've taken. For a net loss of 1 from Nightfall, Olive gets to draw 2 more, draws 2 Shadow Sigils, plays a Cabal Recruiter, swings in with her bat. No hesitation, ladies and gentlemen. And then passes the turn back. Looks to the market one more time, not quite sure what she's seeking for here. Blackjack draws 2 off of the Nightfall and takes a point. Plays the Annihilate on the Cabal Recruiter. In the tank again, and plays a Rindra the Duskblade. This time Olive does have the 6. We will probably see that being stolen. She looks to betray the cause, does in fact use it on the Rindra, steals the Rindra, goes for the swing, and instead of the secret passage, she is going to go for that Devour in hand in order to dig deeper into the deck. Eats the Rindra to draw 2 cards, draws double Shadow Sigil, not what we're looking for out of our home team. Blackjack draws 2 off the Nightfall, takes the damage, goes down to a precarious 2 life, plays a Shadow Sigil. And goes for the last chance on the Rindra. Remember, Olive stole one of those earlier and used it on her street urchin. Rindra hits the board. It does have charge and flying. It is going to swing in here to gain 5 for Blackjack probably. And in fact it does, taking the life totals to 30 and 7. Blackjack passes back. Olive draws a Shadow Sigil and a Pilfer. She goes finally for the Merchant. Merchant's away a Shadow Sigil to grab. Deep in the tank here. I think the decision is mostly between the Thief's Pick or the Dizo's Office. And she decides on the Dizo's Office. That is going to be a much later turn play. Goes for the Pilfer. Blackjack pauses. Clearly they have something deep in thought here. Steals a Kaifis. Plays out another Carrington Merchant. Goes to the market again. Deep in the tank one more time. She goes for the Touch of Umbrin. It looks like that Rindra will not be long for Blackjack's side of the board. Olive swings with the bat. There's another pause from Blackjack. Clearly something fast in hand. And Olive gains 2 life, passes turn. Blackjack draws 2, takes 1 precariously down to 4. Plays a Crest of Cunning. Looks to the top. Keeps it on top. And swings in with the Rindra, getting aggressive. It is still night. They will gain 5 if this attack connects. And they follow through with the connect. It is 9 to 26. Blackjack in the tank again. This is a difficult spot for them. And they pass turn back. Olive plays the Shadow Sigil. Looks to the hand in the tank, deciding between probably the Kaifis and the Office. Plays the Office. What is she going to select off of this? In the tank again, thinking of the Threaten to push damage. Decides to go with the Cut Ties on the Rindra. Pauses, thinks again. Doing some quick math probably. Decides not to cut ties, looks back to the Threaten. Tanks again and decides, looks to the Scheme, possibly the Dig, but goes once again for the Cut Ties on the Rindra. Ladies and gentlemen, what does Blackjack have that is fast? And Blackjack has an Unseal. Unfortunately, Corrupt will not work on Unseal, so Olive loses the Cut Ties, decides to swing in with just the 2 on the ground, leaving the bat back to protect the Office. And then passes the turn back. Blackjack draws a card. Goes for a Strategize. Draws 2. Tanks. And thinks through a couple of cards to put back. Finally decides on 1. Blackjack looks to a card, goes for a reread. What will they get out of their void, ladies and gentlemen? This is a very important card as Olive has lethal on board. Blackjack tanks deep over this reread. This is pretty expected. Olive looks to that Corrupt knowing that if Blackjack picks the wrong card, that Corrupt will get them. Blackjack deep in the tank. And that is the rope. They are thinking. They decide finally on the Annihilate. Are they going to use it now, or are they going to swing? Blackjack goes for the Annihilate. Olive looks to that Corrupt. Now, Annihilate is void-bound, so when she steals it, she will not be able to take it and cast it, which means this is just a counterspell. Blackjack goes for the swing, ladies and gentlemen. That is extremely aggressive. Olive could choose not to block, but Blackjack does have 2 open. She chooses to protect the Dizo's office. Goes for the Threaten, which will provide an additional lethal. Blackjack does not have an answer and scoops it up. And ladies and gentlemen, TotesOlive takes it with Yoink.